what up to all of the 12 people who are going to see this. Let's talk about it. Some of you really enjoy the toneism that I put out there. My own point of view mixed in with some facts and some hyperbole. You know, some of my own opinion. I just turn this beautiful music down. Is it nice? Is music nice? Good. All right, let's turn that off. All right, so we want to talk about the oversized model that's on the front of Sports Illustrated. I don't know what the model's name is, and I don't know what possessed them to put her on the front of it's Sports Illustrated, isn't it? Oh, it's Cosmo. She's on the front of Cosmo. And it wouldn't surprise me if she was on the front of Sports Illustrated. As a matter of fact, if she was on the front of Sports Illustrated, it would be better. And I'm going to tell you why. Because then we would be looking for what sport she does. And if she can throw one of them, balls that you spin around, and then, the hammer throw. Hey, listen, if she can toss one of those balls and be like top tier in the world, mad respect, because that is muscle. Those women are strong. I'd be like, yo, leave this chick alone because she can throw you over a wall. That's it, and that's all. You know that wall they got down there in Texas? This girl can throw you right over that wall and into the river. So, yeah, but that's not what it is. This is Cosmo. Now, there's a reason why there is a big problem with this right here. Because Cosmo has been putting out pictures of, paper-thin women for the longest time. And Cosmo has also been one of the people who victimizes women. Cosmo is your enemy, ladies. Don't think for a heartbeat that Cosmopolitan is your friend. Now, somebody who talked about Cosmopolitan, God rest his soul, was Kevin Samuels. And Kevin Samuels said that like one of the editors said that who was a she, was putting out misinformation just because they knew women would read it and run with it. They were putting out lies about feminism, telling you how great it is to be liberated and all this, and they were pushing this to you. And of course, every other magazine, Top Magazine was doing the Vicky Secrets, all that. They were doing the same thing. They were pushing this whole narrative for you to get away from your husband, to not care about your kids, to eat as much as you want, look however you want, sleep with how many people you want, be as loud and improper, and only thing you should care about is yourself, your career, which means absolutely nothing to men, and you should become as unmarriageable as possible. That's what you should do. This magazine is still doing the same thing. It is a setup. It's a falsehood. Now, I've told the story on why I am so against just the lackadaisical attitude to being unhealthy. Okay, I admit that this is not my normal weight. I'm 285, okay? This is why I go to the gym. But a car accident took me out of what I usually do, which was run. I used to be a miler. I got a scholarship to run the mile when I was 26 years old. I went to a little small college, Talladega University, and started running there. I went on a scholarship. So you're not looking at somebody who's lazy. You're looking at somebody who's injured. I got into an injury in 2013. I was hit head on by somebody who crossed into my lane. Bam. That was it for running for me. Couldn't do much else. Couldn't even go to work like I used to. I worked at a car factory. That was it. I can no longer do those things. So that took me out, and then that's when I started gaining weight, and this is what you see today. Okay, me still trying to stave off 300 pounds. But if I'm gonna be 300, I'm gonna be 300 benching, 450. Okay, it is what it is right now. If I bench on a Smith machine, I benched last week, I put up 365 on a Smith. So you got to cut out maybe 25 pounds of that. So that's where I'm at when it comes to bench press. All right. It's okay. But the fact is that I go to the gym, I exercise, I just can't run anymore. But I care about my health. Even when I'm sitting here watching whatever show I'm watching, I got weights right here. I got weights right here. I'll stand up and I'll start doing whatever because I'm very conscious that my heart rate needs to go up at least 20 minutes every day. I need to burn fat. I need to do something. I got a big old 35 pounder right here. I hit the shoulders. And I don't live under the illusion that it's okay for me to gain weight and to be obese. A doctor told me, the doctor said, you're obese. No, I was mad when he said it, but when you look at my index, I'm 6'2". I'm supposed to be around, I'm supposed to look like LL Cool J, 240 and yoked. It's not what I look like. All right. I'm strong, but I don't have his physique at my age. You ever see LL? He looks great. Method Man looks great. I don't look like that because I hurt. I got spinal stenosis. It hurts. So I'm not anxious to go to the gym all the time, but I still do something. And that's my whole point. These pictures here do not encourage you to do something. You can't tell me you can look at this woman right here and say, this woman goes out and hits the gym. No. Listen, they didn't even promote this as somebody who had some type of infirmity to them, some type of disorder to them that made them gain 50, 60, 70 plus pounds. This woman is clearly Lizzo's size. Lizzo is 300 pounds. She is a big girl. This is a Lizzo-like woman. She's up there. This is not a thick model. I know what thickness is, and I love some thickness. That's not what this is. This is unhealthy. And these women that pick these magazines up and go, it's okay to be extremely unhealthy. They go, and now that the husband is completely feminized, these wives, the American wife, the terror of the world, supposed to be the beauty standard of the world, not so much. The American wife looks at this and says, I'm not getting off the couch. If Cosmo is saying you don't have to get off the couch, go out there and walk around the yard, a few times to burn off that, Thanksgiving dinner, then I'm not doing it. When you look at this model right here, her arms are flabby. Flabbing. This is completely unhealthy. And I told you guys, my story, I had a fiance who was this big when I was young, when I was 19, and I was like, listen, I love you, but you gotta lose weight. She was like, no. She didn't want to do it. I left her. And her not wanting to do it, that's what killed her, literally. It killed her. She just got bigger and bigger and bigger until it killed her. Before the age of 30, she was gone. So I will never look at this and say, this is okay. I don't look at any big girl and go, you know what? It's okay. You're a big girl. Not unless there's a thyroid problem. Not unless there is some type of, mental, something had to happen to you. You guys go, or you come from a whole family of just big people. And that's what they do. They eat just a whole bunch of crumbs. Then you grew up that way. Nobody in the house was healthy. Listen, when I grew up, there was 8 of us in the house, 6 siblings. We were hungry twice a month, and we stayed that way at least 4 or 5 days. We were hungry, starving, hungry. We were trying to eat whatever. I'm telling you, it like I was happy to go to school because the school lunches, I had to make that work. Sometimes the school lunch was my dinner. I kid you not. I'm not even kidding you. Like we were hungry. We were food stamps, and we would eat through those food stamps twice a month. Like it was the first and the 15th was a real big deal. And we would eat right through those like it was nothing. And what we didn't eat, the roaches did. I'm trying to tell you. But the food that we ate, we ate a lot of fried chicken. My mother would cook greens a lot. Of course, we had white bread. We weren't into wheat back then. We had a lot of rice. We had stuff that potatoes. We had stuff like that. But my mother made a lot of green stuff. She put a lot of vegetables in there, a lot of candy yams and stuff like that. Candy yams is my favorite. We ate as healthy as possible with what we had. And I'm gonna tell you something, staying inside was a punishment. You didn't stay inside. You went outside. And when my mom said, you're on punishment, you can't go outside, it hurt our feelings. Because we wanted to run outside and run it off. We wanted to race. We wanted to play basketball. We get in the fights. Whatever we did, we would burn that energy right on up and come in the house hungry. We couldn't help it. So I didn't have a fat family. It just wasn't, that isn't the way we grew up. We grew up burning off energy. But there are some people who did grow up that way. There weren't too many fat people in my neighborhood because we were all very, very active. And as a matter of fact, the only fat people I knew was a dude named Gene and his wife, whose name was Bert, and they owned the supermarket right across the street from us called Bert's Market. It was her market. But you should have seen the size of Gene. He was huge. And you would think that this man, he's big and slow and, he wobbled with a walk. He got into a fight with a man named Big Hand. And it was like seeing two Incredible Hulks fight. It was legendary. And it spread around the neighborhood. Gene was nobody to mess with. He was like in his 50s when he got to that fight with Big Hand. Okay, so we didn't have a lot of unhealthy people that couldn't do a lot of things in my neighborhood. It just wasn't there. But Cosmo wants to preach to you that it's okay for a woman to be a couch potato and, run around looking like this. I'm telling you, the picture of this woman can't be older than 30. She can't. It can't. This woman cannot be 30 years old. She's probably in her young 20s, and that's another thing. Okay, so for you people who travel, this is not for you. But for you people who have not traveled outside of the United States, I beg of you, go. Just drop into any country. Just pick one. Just pick a country. Heck, go to Mexico. Take a drive. You don't even got to get on a plane. Just go right to Mexico and look around and tell me how many fat people you see. Just Mexico. Just right across the bridge and come right back. Just a day. Just spend a day over there. Boom, come back. Tell me how many fat people you see. How many fat Mexicans do you see walking around here? Or Asians? How about Africans? Pick a nationality. And I don't mean that we're born here. I mean that they came over here. They still speak broken English. Those ones, the migrants. Or pick a European country. Go to the Middle East. Pick somebody from the Middle. How many Middle Easterns have you ever seen that are fat? I'm waiting. How many? When you see pictures of Chinese people, how many of them do you see that are fat? We're not even saying obese. We're saying fat. How about people up there in Zurich, in those winter countries where those Vikings come from? Those are some big people. But how many of them do you see up there in Zurich that are fat? Not too many. You can travel all over Europe and it's the same thing. You drop down in Germany, you can catch a train and all over Europe. I used to live in Germany. You do not see a lot of fat people. And you can look for them. You won't see them. Even the old people. You don't. But as soon as you touch down in America, it's enormousy. It's regular. It's normalized. It's something that's laughed at. We are the fattest country on the planet. Obesity is our thing. Greed, gluttony, lust, all the 7 sins right here. You can get it all right here. How about Africa? Look at any country in Africa, and you could probably pick out. You can probably take a country and go, South Africa, bam. All right, South Africa, you being, the Europeans are still over there. How many fat white people are over there? White people. South Africans. How many fat white people live in South Africa? You're not going to see any. Not going to see any. They're not just sitting around doing anything. You'd be hard pressed to pick out a fat South African white person. Not going to happen. But you'll see it here in America. And that's the danger of these pictures. That's the real problem with these pictures. Because America is supposed to be the guiding example of the world. We're supposed to be the gold standard. We are minus tariff. For those of you who, well, I don't know how many of you know what minus tariff is, but that's who we are. We're minus tariff. You don't know what minus tariff is? It's from the Lord of the Rings. It's the great city. It was the white city minus tariff. It's the shining example. That's who we are supposed to be. We're not the shining example of what you should be. And what's really so crazy is when it comes to athletics, we are always the best in 1 or 10 areas when it comes to the Olympics. When it comes to the best people in the world, we're always the best. The American symbol is always shining somewhere. Boom, they're the best here, they're the best here, they're the best at this, they're the best in something. We're the best. In track and field, let's just take track. In track and field, Worlds just ended. Well, it didn't end. It's still going on. But the men's 100 just ended. Sweep. America. Sweep. Fred Curley and Trayvon Brumell and another guy. Boom. It was a sweep. It was an American sweep. We're the best in some area there. We're always shining in some area when it comes to that. This is what you should be. But when you really come to America and you look around, you're like, you can look at Jamaica that has 3 million people and you can pick out a fat person and you can scale the whole country just to find a fat person. You might be lucky and find, I don't know, maybe 100 out of 3 million. Maybe. Here in America, you'll find them everywhere. You can take 3 million people, the same sample, you're going to find there's a lot more fat people. A lot more. And Jamaica is always our competition when it comes to sprints, simply because there's Africans sprinting against Africans. But you guys know what I'm saying. It's an oxymoron for them to put this on Cosmo and say, this is what you should look like. And then when it comes to the Olympics and other sports and things, saying you shouldn't look like this. You see what I mean? Here's what we're doing. We're showing America, we're showing the American people one thing, but we're showing the people outside of America something completely different. Completely different. We're showing the people outside of America that we are the fastest, we're the strongest, and can't say that we're the smartest, because when it comes to smarts, it really has nothing to do with you being overweight, as far as an intelligent or some ASVAB test or something like that. But when it comes to physical prowess, America loves to pit themselves against everyone else in the world and say, hey, we're this, we're the top dog. But what they show the American people is be completely outclassed when it comes to your physique. Show me a fat Russian woman. This is the largest country on the planet. Show me a fat Russian woman. She's going to be old, but show me a 25-year-old fat Russian woman. How many fat Russians do you think they have? Poland? Ukraine? How many of them are notoriously fat? Let's go into Spain. It's another European country. How about Spain? Fat? Are they known for being fat people? No, they're not. But America is known for being fat because we're feeding ourselves this false image of it's okay to be anything that you want. However, when we go outside of our borders, we want everybody else to think that we're the healthiest, we're the wealthiest, we're the smartest, we're the best looking. It's all a lie. For one, we're not the smartest. Even though we have Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and others, we're not the smartest. You got to understand, even Elon Musk said, because people said, listen, why don't you hire more people from out of the country to come in and help you build the rockets? Elon Musk says, I can't, because the government regulates who can build rockets. The government regulates that. You got to understand, you're being duped. You're being lied to. And you women need to understand that this lie is killing America. Your numbers are sinking. You're going to be finished. The numbers of healthy countries are going through the roof. Your numbers are sinking. You are negative 2% in the birth rate. Educate me on how many people want to go and mate with this plus-size woman, this oversized woman. How many men looked at this oversized woman on Cosmo and said, you know what? I want to have babies with her. What is the likelihood that she and others like her? Let's just take an example. If there were 50 women who were her size, her age, and healthy, then you take 50 women who look like, one of the well, I can't say any of those. I don't know. Somebody healthy, one of the healthy models. I don't know who's modeling now. But take one of the healthy models who look like they eat, but they still exercise. Take one of them. Who's a man going to gravitate towards? Who's going to be able to get married and the husband's going to pay all the bills? Do you think a 300-pound woman is going to have that luxury? She's going to find a man who's, 6 figures or more. $275 a day this man is making. plus, so he can provide for you. So you don't have to do anything except screw him, take care of his children, take care of the house. That's your job. You don't have to go out and beat feet, beat traffic, and fight with people on a bus, fight with people at your job, your boss harassing you, and all this other customers. You don't have to wrestle with none of that. I'll go do it. But your job is to stay and take care of my house and take care of my other little, things I got going on, because I'm out tackling 80 hours a week, bringing home this guap. And we live in a nice house, a nice neighborhood. Yeah, we have 2 cars. Everything is paid. You don't worry about a bill. And for you people that think that this is not real, I actually know somebody who does this. He's a fireman. He's a black man too. He said, my wife doesn't pay anything. He said, except the insurance every now and then. And my dad was like this too. He helped raise his kids, except me. I lived with my mom. But his kids and 5 other kids who were not his, he married into. He had a paper route, and then he would go to his regular job. He told his wife, take care of the kids in the house. That's it. And when he got tired, he would tell his wife, go to work. You know what she did? She was a teacher. She would go and teach for a couple hours. She wasn't even a regular teacher. She would just substitute. She'd just go for, about 2 weeks, substitute, make a couple dollars, because he needed her to knock off the insurance or knock off the light bill, something, because he was tired. He had 2 paper routes and a regular job. He just got tired. And then when he got sick, she left him. I'm just trying to tell you guys. Cosmo's lying to you. And I know not a lot of people are going to listen to me ranting, but that's okay. That's why these are going into podcasts. But I'm just trying to ring the alarm on the people who want to listen. Because America is lying to us, and they're just trying to do us wrong. And it hurts. It hurts to see what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? And we have eating disorders. We have mental issues. We have so many struggles. We don't need America to help push struggles on us. Like, I can't imagine me growing up, nuclear family, I'm married, got a wife, and I got, a couple daughters, tweens, and they see Cosmo and go, okay. 13, 14, whatever, and go, Dad, this 13, 14-year-old girl is on the front of whatever magazines teens read nowadays. Just completely overweight and going like, it's okay to do this. I couldn't. I would tell her, this is a lie. Listen, I want you to grow up and eventually get married so you don't have to struggle. You don't have to be out here fighting dragons. There is somebody who should fight dragons for you. All you got to do is clean the castle and, fill it with babies. And that's a hard enough job. Ain't nothing easy about having children. Ain't nobody trying to downplay that whatsoever. But that's your job. Your job is not to be a bus driver. Your job is not to be an executive. Your job is not to be the doctor. Your job is not to be the lawyer. As great as that sounds, Those people, they have the billable hours that lawyers. Have you ever talked to a female lawyer? I have. I talked to one lady in the grocery store, just kicked up some conversation. And I was like, what degree do you have? Because she talked very eloquent. She said, which one? She said, I have a law degree. And I was like, okay, you're a lawyer. She said, no, I got tired of it. It burned me out. So she went and got some kind of medical degree, and she does that. She does something where she goes to work and she knows when she's coming home. She works 40 hours a week or whatever it is now, and she comes home. She doesn't work and then try to keep these hours up and, and working for whatever. She doesn't do that. She's like, it burned me out. That's it. Even the best female lawyers, they come home tired. This whole thing about a woman getting a job and her independence is a whole sham. Those women come home beat. I know a lot of those professional working women. I used to work with them. And a lot of them are alone. They can't keep a man. They can't. They get with a man and he'll be gone. I'm trying to tell you, they cannot keep a man. I see it all the time. And these are good-looking women. You know why they can't keep a man? Because their mind is fixed on their career. But that is not their job. There is no 9 to 5 that's your job. There's not one. You're not paying taxes. You're nothing. Nothing. That's not your job. That's my job. I go out and pay taxes. You make sure things are organized when I get here, because I'm going to fall out. I'm tired. I'm going to fall out. Then I'm going to get up and hit the shower. I need to take a nap. I'm tired. Then you can tell me what's going on in the house. Then I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to get about 5 or 6 hours, and I'm going to automatically jump up. It's like you don't have to, there's none of that. I automatically, because I'm so transfixed on getting this money, my body is acclimated to, boom, I got to get up. Listen, when I went on disability, I couldn't go to work anymore. I used to get up and have to be out the door at 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to be at the spot at 4:30, and we had to drive an hour and be ready to go at 6 o'clock. I still every now and then jump up in between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And it used to be so bad that I would think that I was late for work. Like I'd be sitting on the edge of the bed thinking about the factory. I kid you not. And then it would have to hit me, like it would take like 5 minutes for me to go, oh, wait a minute. I don't have to go to work. That happened to me for months. For months, because it was indoctrinated in me. Go get that money. That's not your job. That's my job. That's what we're here for. You give me a little back rub every now and then, tell me I'm doing a good job, and I work until I can't anymore. Until those kids are able to work, and we kick them out the house. And then we enjoy our retirement. That's what it is. But when you're 10 tons of fun, you might not make it to retirement age because your heart is working twice as hard as what it should be. Your health issues, listen, this woman, she's in her 20s. When she hits 35, she's going to be in a massive trouble. because of all that that's sitting in her system. But she could have got rid of. She could have got rid of that treadmill, walking outside every day. It's not hard to do. Get some 8 pounds. These things are, look. 8 pound weights. These are not expensive. It just hurts me to see. It hurts me to see this woman, is the size of a football player. But like I said, if she had the strength of a football player, I would have nothing to say. I still think it's unhealthy, but nonetheless, if she was strong, look, I done seen some country girls. Okay, last year I delivered a refrigerator to this lady's house, black lady, and she said, my daughters will help you. She said, my daughter, actually, she'll help you carry the refrigerator in the house. Now, I'm a big old man. I'm like, no, daughter. Like, how old's your daughter? She's like 12. When I tell you that this child picked up the whole back of the refrigerator and almost pushed me over because I was carrying the front of it, I was like, how is this possible? And the mother had told me, she said, my daughters are very strong. 12. You should see this out. Now, when a woman's built like that and diesel, that's different. These girls were all chunky. But you would not believe that these girls can pick up at 12, can move that refrigerator like that. I was like, I pride myself on, hey, I can do this. 12. So be careful. We got to be careful. We got to be smarter. We got to watch what these people are peddling to us, because a lot of it is a lie. And a lot of it is not built for us to, ingest and have a healthy return. It's not made for us. The one good thing is about this, for those of you who read these magazines, is when you see it and you have discernment, you go, I'm never going to read this again. Thank you very much. It's like a group of people, you don't know if they're for you or against, and then they start, playing pranks on you and get you injured and stuff, and then laugh at your injury instead of helping you. You don't rock with them again. Like, I'm not hanging around you no more. They steal from you, or they talk behind your back, and then you hear them doing it. You're like, thank you, because I thought we was cool, but, you're not really for me. And you get away from it. Don't go around it. Do not read these magazines and think that you're going to have a healthy mind, because that's what they're coming after. And I just don't understand this. I don't understand this because they know that it's terrible, but they want their birth rate to go up. That's what I don't get. This is a top tier magazine, spread all over the planet. European women are going to read this and be affected by it immediately. But the European men do not favor women who are 5'6" and 300 pounds. They do not. The regular average European male does not look at a woman 5'6", 5'4", and 260, 270. You know what he looks like? You know what he looks at? He looks at a woman 5'6", the average, between 5'4" and 5'6", the average woman, and he looks at her to be 120 pounds, 110 pounds. Kid you not. It is an American standard. 110 to 120 pounds. This woman is almost 3 people. her chances of a man taking her on for life, not trying to get in her pants, saying, I want to marry you, is slim. No pun intended. Are you going to have some big guy out there who's going to go, yeah, I'll take it. But here's the thing. Lizzo hit on Chris Evans. Why didn't Lizzo hit on a man who was 300 pounds? See, that's the thing. Why didn't Lizzo go after somebody who was just as big as she is? She hit on the Captain America dude who exudes fitness. This dude has to stay fit to look like he does. Listen, if you've seen Captain America, the movie Captain America, you see the woman who played Peggy Hill. When Captain America was transformed and came out of that thing, she reached over and touched his chest. She was like, they didn't tell me to do that. I did that. She said, I had to touch it because it was amazing. Now flip the script. I mean, just flip the script on that. Imagine if Black Widow was 300 pounds. Squeezing into some tights. Do you think we want to go see the Black Widow at 300 pounds? Or any other female characters? The Scarlet Witch, Storm, Catwoman, who is a sex symbol, first played by Eartha Kitt. Who wants to see Catwoman at 300 pounds? There was only one time Catwoman was illustrated at that weight. And it was in a cartoon. It was when her and when they all got old. She's like in her 50s and 60s. And Batman killed the Joker. Who wants to see these are Marvel or DC characters? Who wants to see them 300 pounds? Just hey, look at what they did with Thor. They had Fat Thor, right? Is Thor still fat? Is Thor still fat? You see my point? Anyways, your boy Tone 202. I gotta go. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.